Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel RVCCISinfo, where faculty representatives from Rock Valley College's Computers and Information Systems talk to you, our community at large, about things roughly having to do with computers and information systems. Joining me today, as always, is Stephanie. Howdy, everybody. I'm Eric, and today we thought we would talk about some of our most favorite and our least favorite phones. So I know I'm an idiot phone buyer. I won't put you in the same category as like undeniably dense when it comes to buying those, but
Yeah. Well, I do upgrade every 2 years, I guess.
mhm.
I don't upgrade more often than that, I suppose. But if I would probably spend a little more money, maybe the phone would last longer than 2 years. But I feel like that's what happens with my phones is they don't last very long.
Yeah, the battery is usually the first thing to, start to go. That's what I've
Yeah.
always felt.
Yeah.
I've decided, especially after Barrett was born, like that's the camera we use for everything.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know, and it's certainly not true that I upgraded every 2 years. Anytime I could get either my phone company or another phone company to buy out my contract and then give me a new phone, I would bounce around and do that. But certainly every year since, although this is the longest, but every year since Barrett's been born, I've got a 1 year contract, and then we switched to a different company to get another 1 year contract with a better phone.
Um,
So, so we thought we would talk most and least favorite phones that we have had.
Yeah, I know what my most favorite phone is. I had a Nokia, and I can't remember if it was an 820 or a 920, but it was a Windows phone and I loved it. My brother used to make fun of me all the time. And both my brothers are iPhone people and they would
Mm-hmm.
make fun of me all the time. But really, I could do a lot with that. I had a deadline that I missed, and in order to get paid, I needed to turn in a spreadsheet with my hours on it. And I was in the middle of nowhere in Ogle County. And I was able to bring up the spreadsheet in Excel on my phone, create it, and then attach it to an email to send it in and get it in, just right on time. I was like, yeah, I had to get it in by noon. It was like 11:55. I was able to get it in. So that itself had made it,
Yeah, worth
pretty,
every
pretty
penny.
great. Mhm. Yeah, and I teach server classes. Yeah, I teach all Microsoft, like Microsoft pays my bills basically,
Right?
and between Microsoft and Cisco, and that phone just works so great with it. And then I switched to Google, which or a Pixel phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean it's fine, but I would have to say the Pixel 3 is my least favorite. But we can talk about
Yeah.
it.
Actually, and being an every year buyer, when the Pixel 3 came out, I was like, nope, nope, not me. It just didn't appeal to me.
Well, I had the original Pixel and the
Mm-hmm.
battery was dying. Or it just kind of like was, I don't know what it was doing, but it was doing goofy things. It's
Yep.
probably just my imagination for me to get a new phone. But after 2 years, then I thought, okay, my only choice is a Pixel 3 because I really wanted another Nokia, but I couldn't find one that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in denial that that there weren't Microsoft phones anymore. And so I just went for the Pixel 3. And then as soon as the contract was up, I bought a new phone. And of course, I bought a Pixel 5, but that Pixel 3 it didn't, it was a cheap phone and that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So let's see. So I've bought way more phones. I think that this much is true. I actually really did enjoy. I bought my wife and I. There was some deal at AT&T 1,000 years ago. It was a Samsung Omnia 7, I think it was called. It was a Windows phone, and it made text messaging fantastic
mhm.
because those big bubbles on Windows phones that we still don't even get now with like modern iOS or modern Android just made reading stuff really easy, and it felt like a really big screen at the time, although right now I'm sure I would feel it was itty bitty.
Mhm.
um, so that one always sticks out as like, yeah, that was really great. And the Windows part maybe wasn't
Well, the
always.
Windows phone it would sync with my car fantastically. Like it
Oh
was
really?
seamless and easy. And it would basically say, hey, you have a text. Do you want to read it or ignore? And it would actually listen to me when I said read or ignore. It wouldn't like
Mm-hmm.
screw up. And doing voice to text was, Cortana I complain about it on my Windows 10 computer, but
Right.
it worked great on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't, my Pixel just doesn't, maybe I just need to use it more and then it'll actually be okay, but it's not as good.
Yeah, yeah. I for whatever reason, maybe I've learned to talk in a way that Siri hears me better. Although
Yeah.
now that I say that, all of them just piped up.
Mhm.
But when I do talk to the Pixel, it did you mean? I'm like, how the hell
Yeah.
did you get that?
And I'm always like ignore or cancel. And it's like, what did
Yes,
you, so you want to send that? And I'm like, no.
right.
Like,
Is it
uh,
reject? Is it throw you out the window? What do I need to do to get it to stop? Yeah.
oh, yeah. But
I will
so,
say the I think I had an iPhone 4S. They were tiny, but they were all glass, and that was pretty fantastic. And then after that iPhone, all the way here to I have an 11 Pro Max, which is ginormous,
mm,
but not near as big as the 12 Pro Max or whatever it's called.
the
But
million
I
dollar phone.
yeah, well, it is $1 million, which really does kind of suck. But I use it. I would say I'm a pretty heavy user. I'm not gaming on it ever, but I've got 2 email applications. I've got 7 email accounts. I've got Edge, Chrome, and Safari running 40 tabs between them, maybe. I don't charge it every other day. I mean, even still, and I've had it for almost 2 years.
Oh, that's really
So
nice.
it's really nice for that. And the with the I think it has a 2 times telephoto camera. We use that all the time, especially with the boy. But like
Mhm.
yesterday, this for all of our viewers, this may or may not be a all the time occurrence. For us, this is really very, very strange. In the 30 whatever years my folks have lived at their house, they have never had a turtle in their front yard. And yesterday a turtle walked across from a pond a ways away and buried a clutch of eggs right in the yard, right by our car,
Oh,
which was crazy. So Barrett was going totally insane. So the having the camera, having the 4K for video,
mhm.
stabilized video, the everything, I am confident in saying if I didn't have that phone or better, I wouldn't have been able to get like pictures of the turtle, all that other
Yeah,
crap that
that
he's really digging.
stabilization is awesome because even on the Pixel phone, it's great. We
Mm-hmm.
bought my mother-in-law. She will not buy a smartphone. We're trying to
Right.
convince her, but so we bought her a camera, and we bought her an inexpensive one because we thought whatever. But the stabilization is not like it is on the phone.
Yes.
Like those phones are fantastic for that.
Yeah.
And the shakiness and blurry, and
Mm-hmm.
it's fantastic. I do have to say my husband had a 5S, I believe it was, an iPhone 5S, and now
Mm-hmm.
he has an SE,
Yeah.
an iPhone SE. Those things last forever.
Forever. Yes.
Forever. I think he went 4 or 5 years, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Brad, your screen is like, are you sure you don't need a new phone? And he goes, it's kind of slow. And I'm like, let's get you a new phone. Like these are
Yeah.
not expensive phones. So we got him a new phone, and he likes them because they fit in his
Yep.
pocket. And now he's had that one. I mean, a couple of years already, and we just put a case on it and this, one of those glass protectors on the
Yeah.
front, and he's
Yep.
good to go.
Yep. We did the same for Aaron's aunt who had like an iPhone 6S.
Hmm.
And actually, the phone wasn't, it was the shape of the screen after all that time. She had really kicked the heck out of the thing. And the speed of the phone was actually pretty good still. But um, the damage was getting to be where she was like, well, I can't swipe in from the left hand side because she'll cut her finger off. And I'm like, maybe it's time we can get something new. And we did. We replaced it with an SE, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's, if you don't need anything super fancy,
Mm-hmm.
it'll last, and the battery life on it is amazing. And he uses it all the time. He uses my Instagram account, so he's always on Instagram looking at stuff. So, but yeah.
So there you go. Best and least favorite phones we've had. I also want to put a special shout out in there for my first gigantic phone, which was like a Note 3.
Oh,
I still use that to this
beautiful.
day. Barrett is able to take that outside instead of his iPad. So like if over COVID here, we've turned my garage into a socially distanced patio for indoor use.
Mhm.
So I don't super love that he'll go outside with an iPad, which is pretty expensive. But with the Note 3, it's still actually pretty okay snappy
Yeah.
for, YouTube videos and stuff like that,
Yeah.
even here in 2021. So he gets to use that and he thinks it's great. So
Nice.
special shout out to the Note 3, which has lived longer than I've ever expected a phone to live. If you have a most or a least favorite phone, leave us that in the comments down below. We are always interested in seeing, especially as phone nuts. I'll put Chuck in that category too. Chuck is a phone nut.
Yeah.
But we are
iPhone.
always interested to see what people either have luck with or have had no luck with. You can also follow us on social media. We are at RVCCISInfo on Twitter, on Facebook, on anchor.fm, and here on YouTube. Actually, just over the course of this last week, I've posted 4 or 5 really solid either phone reviews or phone deals for people looking to upgrade if they have one of those least favorite phones that we've been talking about. So, on behalf of Stephanie, myself, Eric, and the rest of the Rock Valley College community, stay safe and stay sane out there, everybody.